All right, good morning, guys. Today we're looking at MITQ. We've got BRDS, PPSI, AUVI, PLBY, DTC, and EVGO. But some of these aren't looking too great. We've got EVGO not looking great. DTC is not looking great either. PLBY could be something here, but it's not really showing it in the pre-market. We'll have to see once the market opens. AUVI has been holding pretty consistent range trading pattern here, so we might be able to see some profits out of something like that. PPSI looks like it's breaking out finally above its last high, making some new highs, so we could potentially see something out of this as well. I think it's going to come back down to VWAP. We've got birds here. Not looking too bad. We see it picked up halfway through the pre-market here. It had a nice run going from about $1.20 to $1.50, back down to about $1.25 right now. Hopefully we can break above this 200 EMA and hold above it. And then we have MITQ. It had a good run up in the pre-market. Looks like it's consolidated, losing a lot of price action here in the recent little time frame here, and then hopefully on open we can break through the VWAP and start to see it run a little bit. That would be ideal. Other than that, we're going to wait and see what else pops up. I've got Triple L popping up, so let's take a look at that. Looks like a better option than EVGO, so maybe we'll see about this one as well. So market opens up, MITQ so far heading down. We've got BRDS heading down as well, PPSI. Large volatility candle. I think PPSI is probably going to be our best bet for an early trade, so we're going to go PPSI. We're going to aim for about $4 entry, 440 PT, and then just a 385 stop loss. So that gives us a little bit of room, not too much room, but hopefully enough. Just making sure I get this all in there. Okay, so very volatile. Hopefully we hold at this VWAP line. I would say if we break through this support line, we'll probably just cut it early because we don't want to hit a big stop first thing in the morning, but we'll see. Lots of pressure building up to push birds back up, but I don't think it's going to hold. MITQ is starting to head up as well. This one's a low float, high volatility kind of stock, so we're going to definitely be looking to make a play off this. I'd like to get in around 135. I'd like to get at least 150 out of it, and then maybe just a 130 stop. If we could get in a little lower than 135, that would honestly be more ideal, but I don't think that's going to happen, so I think 130 is probably our best bet. PPSI is starting to head down a little bit below $4, so that's going to be our entry point here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my spot. Okay. Hopefully we hold here and we can start to make a push back above. If not, I didn't lower that stop loss. I got a couple cents lower than entry, but I'm not going to move that stop. MITQ all the way down to our 130. Oh, 130 is a lot lower than our entry point, so we'll take that right now. I didn't actually think we would be able to get such a discount price on this, but apparently we can, so let's take it and run with it. Hopefully run with it. If we get a 130, we're going to move that stop loss down to 125. That should be a pretty safe stop loss. I like where that's at now. It gives us a lot more room. I'm glad to see that we had that big drop. Hopefully it holds after that now and we can start to see some profits. PPSI is moving up. We hit 410 there. Nothing too crazy. Oh, IQ's running again. Okay, yesterday we took some hypothetical trades on IQ, so I think today we're probably going to do the real thing. We're going to probably aim to get in around that 200 EMA. Looks like we have PPSI coming in with a lot of selling pressure. We're seeing some big wicks on this, so could be a bad sign, but we're waiting to see it break through the resistance lines here and hold. Should be seeing that fairly short here. Birds is still dropping. MITQ, a little bit more of a drop and stops us out anyway, so we're going to take that stop and we'll just let this be for a while until it can kind of consolidate around a price that it's comfortable with. Obviously, it's not meant to hold at this price point right now anyway. AUVI is definitely not looking too bad. I would say that to maximize profit, we kind of want to buy in around this 122 area and probably sell around the 133 area. PLBY looking like it's making a run for it. DTC not doing anything. We'll close that down. Triple L not doing anything. IQ is looking pretty good. I do think it's a little high up. I said that yesterday too, though, and it still ran. So really, what do I know? Well, I'm gonna give it a minute anyway. We'll see what happens with that. We are coming back down. It looks like we might want to take some quicker profits on PPSI. We're not really seeing too much higher than about 411. Not really anything major for profits at that point, but it's better than stopping out. Let's see here. Taking profits on PSI around 410. Not showing no shells. Okay. AUVI is starting to run, so we're going to want to jump in on AUVI as well. Probably $1.35 if we can. We're going to aim for $1.45 and a $1.30 stop. I'm a little worried about the $1.30 stop. Maybe if we can get a little lower. If we can get a little lower, that would be a lot better. So we can adjust that stop loss to a more safe spot. 133, not bad. I do think we could probably get down to even maybe 130. I'm not entirely sure yet, though. PPSI dropping and hitting stop. If you didn't take profits earlier, you're stopping out. Looks like it's going to be one of those days. MITQ has a lot of buying pressure at this 200 EMA. It looks like we just got knifed on for the stop so far. PLBY looks like it's coming down a little bit. IQ coming down as well. It hits that VWAP line, doesn't stop. Probably going to come back down to this 200 EMA. We'll be looking to take a play off that. IQ. I don't know if we'll quite get down there. Maybe we'll try VWAP 1 instead. So maybe 370 if we can. We're going to aim for... The range isn't too great right now. We'll go 385. And then just a 360 stop loss. That should be a fairly safe stop loss. Right there. Okay. So if you can get a little lower again, obviously better. I wouldn't really risk putting your stop down any lower, though. PPSI might bounce off the 200 EMA there. That's something to keep an eye on as well. This one's just dying, so we're going to move that off to the side. This one's doing okay. AUVI comes down all the way to 132. I think that's probably about as good as we're going to get right now for an entry. We could probably wait a little longer if you want to. This does look like it's probably going to start to curl down, so can only imagine that we're going to get a little bit better of a price off this. We'll have to see. IQ with a nice spike upwards. We hit a low of 370 here and then hit a high of 380. Almost PT. That's not quite there yet, but we're definitely getting there. All right, let's see here. AUVI back up pretty strong. Looks like that MACD is not going to give up, so about 132 would probably be... I just messed up the tracker. Okay, never mind. Fixed it. Looks like 132 so far is the lowest we're getting on that. The PPSI might bounce off here. We're seeing a lot of selling pressure still, though, so I think that's good to just leave it alone. I do think MITQ is going to be a winner, so I do want to actually hop back into another trade with this, which seems pretty risky, but we'll see. MITQ. We could probably try for 125. Might get 126. We're gonna try for 135. See, there's a lot of range here. Like 135 is pretty good for the stock at $1, and it's still within range. So, and then just a 120 stop. So, holding that 2-to-1 ratio, we can move our stop down to that 120. That's IQ. This is MITQ. Okay. So IQ does hit a high of 381. We could probably start to scale out some profit here, but it's really not a whole lot. From 370 to 380 it's only 10 cents, but you know what? I think it's probably best if we take what we're learning today and just secure some profit. So might get a little higher than 380 or a little lower, but I'm sure it'll be fine either way. Secure some profit, and then we'll continue on. PPSI is still dropping, but it's still holding at that 200 EMA so far. These candles look very bearish, but we're still seeing quite a bit of volume, so this might reverse. AUVI really does take off here. We're at 140 on AUVI. We're looking for 145. We did hit 142. Again, this is a $1 stock, so at 142, that's 10-cent move. Definitely good to take some profits on that. AUVI. Definitely want to start scaling out on these positions. Don't want to hold for too long. We are prone to seeing things kind of knife on us. IQ did get up to 384. We're almost at that 385. It's a good thing this wasn't a hypothetical trade this time. There's 385. That's PT. Okay. PLBY, it's not really at a price point that I like, and it's not ranging enough for it to really matter. We're seeing like 30-cent moves on a couple candles here, but that's about it. Birds might curl up here, where if we look at yesterday's, we could actually still drop a lot back down to sub $1. So I still think we're going to leave this one alone. We did see a big drop on AUVI. Good thing we secured some profit. PPSI still holding that 200 EMA, still waiting for that turnaround here. I do really want to give it a shot, though. I think this is going to be something that starts to move up. So PPSI, try for a 380 entry. We're going to go for $4 and then a 370 stop. So we're still going to give it a fairly tight stop. We don't need a crazy stop or anything on this. I'd really rather it not break that that 200 EMA, and if it does, we got lots of room down here anyway. Okay. IQ still holding at 385, still have the runner in it. So we'll see if we can get some more out of that. MITQ still struggling at around that 125. Depending where you got in, if you're patient or not, you maybe got 124 out of it. In any case, I wouldn't move that stop down any lower. We're hoping this starts to curl up and breaks. We did see a start of a curl up here. We're starting to see a curl up again, but it keeps faking us out and then dropping a little bit more. So kind of holding our breath, hoping that it comes around some point here. AUVI, we still have a little bit of a runner in this as well. It's looking good though. Bird with a nice turn. Looks like it's going to be heading up a little bit here. It's got a far ways away from that 200 EMA, so it could be some time before we see something playable there. PPSI immediately gives us a sign that's going to start to head up, hitting 391. We're halfway to PT on PPSI. All right, let's take a look here. Not ready to scale out on that quite yet. I do think that we could probably get more out of it. Even though this is showing some selling pressure, we are curling up pretty heavy on that MACD, and we still have lots of volume, so some good signs. IQ still sitting up pretty high. MITQ, another little drop. We're down to 123. 122. All right, I don't like the way MITQ is headed, so I'm going to exit the trade. I'm chickening out on this one. And that's it's just hitting a 5-cent stop on a dollar stock still kind of hurts, so I'd rather not do it if I don't have to. Especially if I think it's going to go bad. AUVI, another potential entry here. PPSI still bouncing off around that 380 mark. AUVI, not looking too bad. MACD is facing down right now, so we are probably headed towards a downtrend at the very least. So keep that in mind. IQ heading back up for that 385. There'll be a retest 4 times over. So after that, definitely a good time to cut your remainder and, just kind of take it for what it is. If we hit it and we don't hold, lots of sellers right there, seeing a lot of sellers stacking up on that side. So could be a little bit of a problem if we can't eat through it. Yeah, it's about 5 attempts now to break through that number. So it's looking really risky if you're still in it. I would definitely be a little worried about a drop. We've secured enough profits. I don't really care too much about the small runner. If it does happen to drop a little bit, I'll sell then and average down a tiny bit. PPSI not really moving. IQ not really able to break through that 385. MITQ just slowly kind of giving up so far. Hasn't really shown much of anything else. Down to 122 now. So again, hitting that low. AUVI still dropping a little bit. Maybe take a play off this final support line here, and if it doesn't hold there, we'd be looking to take a play off of this lower 200 EMA. As far as things go on the scanner, we can take a look at some potentials. We've got JBI. Not looking too bad. That's not great. The range is okay. We'll keep it open for now because I'm not really convinced that I'm not going to play that. SRRK. Again, the range looks good. The price action does not, though. We have RPay. We can take a look at that. RPay, the range isn't very good. So that's something I'm not really even interested in trying to take a play on. SG. Again, range is just really not there. ALGS. Yeah, it's a little cheap. It does have range. Price action's a little spotty, though, so maybe we'll come back to that one in a bit. We are seeing a nice hike on PPSI here. We need to break through this VWAP line if we want to see some new price range here. Otherwise, we're just going to get rejected off. IQ looks like it hit that 385 several times. Still has a big wall, so it is going to be coming down. There's almost no doubt in my mind that that's going to be coming down. PPSI really just waiting on that break. AUVI might curl here. I'm not really seeing too much right on that line as support. Like maybe, but I do think it should come a little lower. PLBY still going up. Really not making much in terms of gains. Maybe like in our 20 cents since we looked at this morning. AUVI does look like it wants to curl up. Bottom band's curling up pretty good. I do think that maybe this will be our opportune time to jump into AUVI again. We're looking at I'd like to get a little lower than 130, maybe like 129. We're going to aim for 140 and then a 120. For 124. Go for a 124 stop. I'd like to give it more room than that, but realistically speaking, I don't think that's something we can do. There's our 130 entry, or around 130. You could get in 130, 131, 129, whatever works for you. Okay, Playboy with a nice drop. Playboy. PLBY. PPSI, not looking great. Looks like it did tap out. Looks like it did just break that VWAP, but got rejected off it anyway. Starting to head back down. You could secure some profits here if you want. I do think we're just going to bounce around for a little bit, but you could definitely secure profits. AUVI making some nice turn up here. We're up at 134. I would say once we hit 138, you could start to scale out some profits. You may even want to scale out around 136. We do have to get through this resistance line, though. IQ starting to head down now. Let's see how far down. We'll probably get it down to about VWAP. If it doesn't stop at VWAP, I'd be a little concerned. MITQ gets real close to that stop loss. I chickened out. You may still be in it. So we'll see if this would have stopped us out or if it would have kept going. AUVI all the way to 141. Wow, didn't expect that. That was quick. Okay, so that's PT on AUVI. Didn't even get a chance to scale out. AUVI. Gonna take some profits. Definitely don't want to be holding on to that for too long. We got PPSI back down to 385, it looks like. AUVI still might go. It's got some bullish pressure. We are bullish on that MACD. Got lots and lots of volume coming in, so we could see maybe 145 out of it. That would be ideal. 147. Perfect. Take some profits there. Might even see 150. Seems a little unrealistic, but that was quite the move here, so we might. But huge increase in volume. This could be a bad sign for us. It looks like a good sign, but it could be a bad one. PPSI back down to entry. If he didn't scale out or take any profits, playing it a little risky now. I don't think it's super risky, but I definitely think securing profits was the right move there. IQ breaks through, keeps going. So 386, we finally see that break of 385. Not really seeing too much more in terms of profits, but it is nice to see something here. Hang on, just trying to fix my tracker. 393. There we go. Okay, I think I fixed it. Hopefully. Really hate when I break this thing. GLBE. Nice. Yeah, definitely. You definitely may have sold all of your IQ position. It was definitely the right move to make if you didn't, or if you did, sorry. Around hitting that 385 that many times is usually a bad sign. It did drop a little bit, drop back down to 379. Looks like it built up some pressure and started to move back up. I don't think we're going to hit a crazy high on this. I do think that IQ isn't really ranging all that much. Like we've got 380 here and then 390 here. It's only 10 cents on a like almost a $4 stock, and it's half the chart already. So not exactly something I'm too keen on taking more plays on. AUVI actually hit 149. We're close to 150 on that. PLBY is still heading down. We've got JBI not really doing anything. ALGS not doing anything. IQ not doing much. MITQ actually did end up curling up. I chickened out and now it's back up to 125. Not in profit yet on that trade if you're still in it, but you're getting there. It's getting there slowly. PPSI with a nasty drop. Looks like at this point I'd be definitely looking to sell the rest of my position. I wouldn't really want to be holding much more because dropping through that 200 EMA, we thought that was going to be a very strong support line, and it's showing us that it's not. So where's the bottom on this? Nobody really knows. We did hit a high of 149 on AUVI. Hopefully took some profits. Maybe looking for a re-entry on VWAP. Although it's been kind of dipping below VWAP, so we might even be able to get a little lower. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. IQ still looking like it wants to go for it. Making those small gains. It's going to be one of those sleeper stocks where I don't want to play it because it's not ranging too much, but then it just consistently gets a little bit more throughout the hour, and it's going to be... Like, if we held the trade through the whole time, it would be a really good trade. Doesn't mean I'm going to play it because I don't like those slow plays, but maybe if it picks up volatility, it could be good. PPSI looks like it bounced off that last support line there. Might be heading back up. It's iffy at best, I would say. Looking back at the scanner, got fat showing up. Not really anything fantastic. 899 to 920. Yeah, nothing fantastic there. Really, our best bet is AUVI right now, which seems kind of sad. And take a look at GLBE as well. This does look oversold or overbought. Definitely looks overbought. That's a good price to do it. I would say you're probably correct. Hopefully you don't have a super tight stop on GLBE. I do think that it could move up a little bit more, but price action generally falls back to the 200 EMA, so you could be looking at like a $3 drop or $2.50, something like that. Might see it bounce around on that VWAP for a while, but I think eventually it'll head back down to that. Maybe by the time it comes down here, 1550 or something. PPSI not really doing a whole lot. AUVI still looking fairly strong. Wants to head up. IQ all the way to 392. Still not super keen on taking another play on that yet. We have MITQ around 125 still. PPSI hasn't quite given up yet, but still worrisome that it's below that 200 EMA. AUVI still making that push. Probably wants to see that buck 50, and then maybe after that it'll give up. PLBY with a nasty drop. We've got anything new on the scanner? Not looking like it. Maybe we got a couple things. Check out SG. Range isn't terrible on that, but not really my preferred price point. INBX. No. Iron. Also not really a great option. FGen. No. Okay. Well, I think that's really it for what I think is playable right now. PLBY, it looks like it is making a little bit of a recovery. We have seen a lot of spotty volume. It's not really holding. The price action's not looking great, so I don't honestly think we're going to end up playing that. JBI as well is not looking great. GLBE, I'm curious to see how the short goes. I think it's a little too pricey for me to buy into, but it does look like it could be potentially a really good short. AGRI, we could take a look at that. Yeah. AGRI is not looking too bad here. I would say we're probably going to be waiting for that to drop back down to that 200 EMA before we take a play because it is sitting up pretty high. I'd like to make sure we get a decent entry on that. IQ saw 396, almost at $4. This is what I'm talking about. This thing is just going to slowly make gains on us, and we're not going to be in it. If we don't find something soon to make plays on, I think I might just jump into IQ for a while here. Write out some free profits, basically. AGRI, definitely want to see that come down. I know I did this last time, yeah. That's why I'm keen on trying to jump in on it and seeing where we can take it, because, yeah, last time we just kind of kept sitting here and watched it go up over and over and over again and didn't really do anything about it. If we could get a half decent entry, probably around 390, I guess, we're probably due for a pullback. So, I mean, it depends how it's looking when it hits that 390, but, you know, maybe we'll say 385-ish, just to be safe. So you have a little bit more room to choose our entry point. We're gonna aim for $4 at least, and then we'll go for a 375 stop. 375 is pretty far down there, so I think we're safe with that. Just let that ride since we're not putting that money into anything else right now. We're still waiting. We saw 152 on AUVI. If you're still holding on to a runner, I would be looking to get rid of the rest of it here, and we'll have to come back and see if we can get a decent entry. Yeah, this is still up pretty high for me. I'd like to see this back down to VWAP. Ooh, GLBE making gains. That's rough. That was a very, very random 60-cent hike. Yeah, I did the $1.50 break. I think that was what I was waiting to see, is the $1.50 break, and it didn't really have a lot of pressure up here, so I think we're probably going to see it come down. IQ still looking half decent. MITQ not doing anything. AUVI still sitting up too high to take a play on. Oh man, GLBE. It's almost up 70 cents. Will I get at 19? Yeah, I still think it is probably going to come down today, but that was more of a move up than I would have been okay seeing. I think my risk management is just too tight for something like that. AGRI still sitting up too high. AUVI not really. Well, you know what? It's a couple red candles in a row. This could be a potential entry point. We might see this drop down to $1.41 and bounce off of that. We'll have to keep an eye on that level. If not, we're looking at VWAP, and if it falls through VWAP, maybe we'll be looking at that 134 area. IQ's to $4 already, so we are definitely making money on that. That's PT. Just gonna cut some here. Don't really I don't want to let go of the whole position, because obviously we are planning on riding this up even more, so I think we could definitely get more out of it. I just want to be safe and secure some of those profits. AUVI falling to that 141 level, so we'll watch here, see if it bounces. If it does start to bounce, we'll likely exit or enter. No, it looks like it's taking a little bit more of a dip. So we'll be looking at VWAP, see if we can get in there. When it touches VWAP, that MACD should be touching that 0 line as well, which is not really a favorable place for us to be sitting. So I think we'll have to give it a minute once it does touch that and see what direction it chooses, because this could just start to head down. GLBE finally coming down a little bit here. Thank God. That was stressing me out for whatever reason. AGRI had a slight pullback, nothing fantastic. I'm still waiting on a little bit more on this one. I'll probably be waiting all day. We'll have to see with that. AUVI, you know what? It looks like it's holding, but that MACD's just touching now, so we'll see if it falls through or bounces. I think it'll probably bounce. A little bit of a retracement on it. Yeah, definitely risky to jump in here. We got a lot of buy order stacking. Well, we're likely to see this turn around. Okay. Feeling a little bit more confident in it. Could be a false sense of security. AUVI. I'd like to get in a little lower, maybe like 138. We're looking for at least 150 out of it, and then a 132 stop. So that kind of gives us a little bit of room. All right, jumping in here, 138. That's our stop at 132. Gonna give it about 6 cents. IQ's at 406, by the way, so 407, so we're still doing really well on that. 138 on that. We're doing good. We're up almost 8K today, so same as yesterday so far. Take a look at that in a minute, though. Depends what AUVI decides to do here. PPSI looks like it's coming back all the way to 393 again. That's where we saw it before. Well, I think last night we had 395. I think I exited 393 though. It's looking okay. I wouldn't say it's anything fantastic right now, so we'll have to kind of give it a little bit of time. IQ's all the way up here at 411, so we're still making some good profit on that. 412. This has got to be hitting a pullback soon. I think I'm going to scale out a little bit more here. Try for 415-ish. We might not quite get to 415 before we start to scale out, but all right. Well, there's 414. I guess it's just gonna happen. AUVI starting to curl up. We're at 141. Took an entry at 138. PPSI not really doing too much. IQ all the way up to 414. We took a huge play on that. MITQ, you know what? I'm still, even though we didn't stop out on this trade, I am still so glad that I cut it when I did. I think I walked away with like a 2-cent loss, and it hasn't done anything all day. And while, you know what, maybe that's okay for some people, I would much rather put my money to use somewhere. So if I tie up all my money in a trade that's not going anywhere, that's not good for business. So I'm still happy I exited that trade. NISN. Let's take a look. Well, AGR is starting to come down, so that's something to keep an eye on. I think we played NISN before. It is cheap, but it's quite the range. 67 cents all the way up to 89 cents. That's some good gains right there. It is up a little too high. I do think it's overextended. That volume is probably not going to hold. So I'd like to see that come back down quite a bit before I decide to take a play on something, especially something that cheap. But there's a couple things here that are looking better than others. MITQ can go all the way over here. PPSI can probably at least go there. AGRI definitely down to that 200 EMA. This could be a potential place to buy in. My only problem is that MACD just crossed, so we could see an even further dump on this. But I guess no risk, no reward, so we'll go AGRI. Maybe 240. We're going to aim for 250 and then a 235 stop. We're going to give it a fairly tight stop. We don't need a lot of room on this. Maybe we can get a slightly better entry, but even if we did, I don't think I want to move that stop down. I think I'll be quite okay with that 235 stop. AGRI. Bouncing around all over the place. AUVI back down, pretty nasty drop. We're going to 135 currently. That is the bottom of this band, so I'm expecting a turnaround. Hopefully anyway. If we don't see a turnaround and it falls through this line, I'll be looking to exit the trade. IQ down to $4. That was the nasty drop I was talking about. Good thing we took profits because we only have a little bit left in this trade now, but it is heading down. Or maybe it's just a pullback. I mean, like we got a little bit of support here and then some more support here, so you never know. It could come back up. AGRI still kind of struggling, but it is making a little bit of a recovery, and we are seeing AUVI just hitting that line right there. I feel like it's going to drop heavy and hit our stop before we could even sell. I don't know why. Well, yeah, it did drop a little bit. I'm not feeling too confident in this. I'm gonna cut it. Cutting a UVI. I'd rather take a smaller loss, not risk as much. AGRI, well, looks like it is bound to curl up from here. This is looking good for us. I think we just saw another drop on AUVI. Yep, looks like it basically would have stopped this out. Hasn't crossed the stop line yet, so we'll see. Maybe we made the wrong decision. Maybe it curls up from here, but it is super, super close. Technically, it's on the number. You think PPSI again? Yeah, it is. It's breaking through that area where it really needed to break through. I'm still not super keen on this stock. I do think that there's a lot going for it, but it seems a little risky going something that's been bearish for a majority of the morning, and then just now looks a little bullish. This could be a bull trap. AUVI might bounce here. We are seeing some consolidation on IQ at this $4 level, which is to be expected. Whole dollar marks are generally really good support lines and really good resistance lines. PPSI all the way to $4. Let's see how high this goes. We saw those green steps of momentum, so let's see. Maybe hits that high of market open at 411, 412, something like that. $409. See GLBE is back below $18 now. That's good. 410, 412. There's that high. Could really keep going from here then. If it can break that, it has a good chance of holding that. Again, a little risky. Around VWAP-ish. So you're looking for like a 1740 exit. Something like that. I think that's definitely doable. MITQ back down. Looks like got just above our entry point and then dumped again. So definitely glad we're not in that. That would have been painful to watch. AUVI officially would have stopped us out, so we did make a good call with that exit. IQ is continuing its drop. Next area of support will be this area right here, around 393. PPSI starting to come down. We could maybe take a play off VWAP if it holds. I'd like to see a retest. IQ 395. Yeah, well, I think we're basically out of things to play for the day. We're still in AGRI. It's not looking too great. It is falling through that VWAP. It is getting very close to stopping us out. That bottom band is opening up wide. Lots of bad signals, but we're so close. I mean, might as well see if it retraces. Looking very, very close to that stop. NISN continues to drop. PPSI did drop, does hit that VWAP. Might be a playable area here. Not looking likely, though. But I do think that's it for the stream today. So, hopefully y'all made some money and learned some things. It was looking pretty good in the AM here. We had quite a few things popping up. Not a whole lot to do after that, though. We did take a couple plays, maybe like 8 or 9 plays. We did make about $8,000 on our account. We are probably going to hit that $50,000 mark from $500. It's looking good so far. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let's take a look at our tracker now. So don't mind the comments again. These comments are just being, I don't know, they're copying over from last month or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah, we took quite a few trades. I've got a couple IQ plays. I think 2 of them worked out. 1 of them didn't. MITQ was just a fail all around. 130, yeah, 125. So we took a 5-cent loss, and then we got a break even on it. PPSI was an okay stock. We got some profit on that one. AUVI was good. IQ definitely good. PPSI again was good. AUVI again was good. IQ again was good. AUVI. This is when I think AUVI started faking us out. Faked us out that time. Faked us out that time. AGRI was a small win. PPSI, yeah, nothing really there. And then IQ, yeah, that was another kind of fake out. We ended up 36% up, so not the worst day this month. Still honestly not great. We used to be in the bull markets, man. We were hitting like 150, 200% every single day. You could turn like, man, in December we turned like $5,000 into almost a million. Now it's a struggle to even hit this. We are doing okay though. I mean, we're up 8K today, so we're at 33,000 for the month. We're just aiming for 50,000, so I'm pretty confident we're going to hit that. I can't really see us not hitting it. We've got quite a few days left, so yeah, it was a nice market back then. Yeah, now the market's just kind of crap, but we're still making money. We're still up about 6,000% this month, so can't really complain about that. I mean, we would have been off. We would have been way better off if we didn't start with $500, but I'm a schmuck for the harder challenges, so I figured we'd just start with $500 and see what we could do. But yeah, we're starting to snowball it pretty hard the last couple days here. The first week was like really rough. Like we were hitting like less than $1,000 a day, and then after that we started to pick up a little bit, and yeah, the 13th was really rough. But now it's starting to actually. Will it be good again? I would say yeah, definitely. Um, Bear markets usually last anywhere from like 3 months to 18 months. I think we're on a longer cycle. I do. I don't think this is going to end like tomorrow. I think we have a lot of things that need to get corrected before the market finds a balance, and we're just not there yet. Especially with the Feds constantly talking about inflation and the wars and shortages and all this kind of stuff. It's just crazy. So it's going to be a while, but we'll get there. We'll get there one day, and when that day comes, everyone will be more than prepared to be making some really, really good money with the least amount of effort. Like it literally takes no effort playing penny stocks during a bull run, and just like buying in randomly and making money. Like when that was happening, I was not using any strategy. It was like use the scanner, pick the stocks, buy in, and then pick a point sell. That's it. Inflation, rising interest rates, shortages, geopolitics. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that we've been in a bear market for at least a couple months now, probably since near the beginning of the year. So I think we could potentially have a ways to go, but I don't know, man. At the same time, like, the market's like not terrible, terrible. There's still money to be made. It's just you have to be more careful with it. But yeah. Other than that, guys, hopefully y'all made some money today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, guys.